Welcome back. I was able to manage to get the device recharged and make it work. So finally, I was able to proceed, and I will share whatever more progress that I have made over a weekend, as well as whatever part we missed in the last video because the device was discharged. So let me just run and launch the application. So this is how the graphical user interface has evolved till date. And you can see there is a set of many options. There is a big plot, which is the main heart of the solution, and this is battery status indicator. This is a set of ports that are available for connecting to the device. This is a slider for adjusting the threshold volume up and down. Look, and this is one timer which is for simulating the trigger coming from the device by the patient, which will indicate that patient is ready to hold the breath. So for now, I have made a manual provision since the device isn't supported. And apart from that, the new addition is the functional menu items. Here is the new menu, which can be used to add the patient's information, creating the new records. So here I go, and I enter the patient details. Say Mr. Armstrong. I enter its ID. It's an alphanumeric ID, and it is undergoing through a verifier test, and I add it. So the record is created at the particular path that I will show you. So this is the directory ABC files in which all these details are created. So this is the new entry that we just created, Mr. Armstrong, and this is the file for the test number one, which we just created. So this is the information currently that the file is holding. So more and more parameters can be added to this based on the requirements. As per the current requirement document, it just tells that basic customers or basic patient records should be stored in the files. So that's what this does. So I'm closing it. Apart from that, the other menu is open menu. Requirement document doesn't really mention anything about this, but I'm just following a standard or a stereotypical menu formats. So I have just made a facility to open a dialog box which will land you up in the ABC file directory on the C colon, and from which a particular patient name record can be selected and opened. I believe that open operation can be used to select particular patients, Mr. Armstrong, and open it by clicking it open, and I can show that particular patient's record information here for the current ongoing test. Apart from there is also like save and save as option. Also, again, the requirement document doesn't really mention anything what information we are supposed to save, but adding the new records. So for adding the new records, this is the provision. For saving, I'm not very sure at this point. Menu, print menu item. Again, the requirement document doesn't have any particular printing service requirement, so I have just made a provision which is currently non-functional. And this is the connect option from which you can connect to the device. By default, it will connect to the COM3 port. And another provision for this is for connecting, where you have multiple options to connect to. And this is the disconnect menu item, where which clicking on which will disconnect the connection between the device and the Bluetooth receiver on this laptop. And this is exit. This exit will just exit the application. So I just exited it, and I will relaunch it. So this is the current graphical user interface progress. I will just start a device now, and I will show you the demo with the graph, live graph. Okay, my device is now on, and I will just connect to COM3 port. You see, it is connected, and I am started getting the data. I just do not want to breathe in so deep. I will reduce the threshold so as to show you the threshold being crossed. For now, I have made this provision to show the breath being held. Again, the bug that I had pointed out previously, that this line may drop down or this may go up because as now the device is in idle state, it keep on sending some negative and positive values which are relative to this position I have to plot. And as we switch from breathe in to breathe out, this volume starts falling down or starts going up based on the idle values that we receive. So I think I need to think more on this, how to solve this problem, because it is also this device which abruptly sends some strange values when in the idle state. So there is no particular pattern that I can follow and use it to put the right checks so as to maintain the curve properly. There is one workaround that I found out, but in that case, once we switch from inhale to exhale, it suddenly falls down to zero. I can show you just at the end of this demo. I will show you that also. So this is how the graph is going now, and I can again disconnect it by clicking on this. If you want to reconnect, you can just connect from here now, or you can also connect from here. I'm just showing you that this menu is also functional. So you see, again it has started sending the data. Again disconnected. Yeah, that's pretty much, and I will show you how that particular workaround functions, which I just suggested. So I am resetting the cumulative volume to zero whenever I am switching from inhale to exhale. Say if my previous state was inhale, I was going up, and my current state has come exhale whenever like I'm reaching at the top of peak of the wave, and then I started exhaling. So in that case, what I do is I start subtracting the current volume from the cumulative volume, because I have to show a continuous curve with respect to the last position. So it plots properly whenever I'm not resetting this volume, and I'm just subtracting it when I switch from inhale to exhale or exhale to inhale. However, if whenever I'm reaching at the curve, and there is one point when there is a gap between you inhaling and exhaling, in that shortest duration of time, what happens is this device ends up sending the negative or whatever idle state value are there. So that causes this state shift, and this cumulative volume suddenly falls to zero, because that's what the volume I'm receiving. And if I reduce only that volume, I'm fine. And if breath being hold, again that is also fine with this. However, if I reset it to zero, just to maintain that value from going up or by going down during the idle state, if I do this reset it to zero, what happens is you see that you see this disconnect. This is the point I stopped breathing in, and it changed the state from inhale to exhale. And suddenly, in this point, I did not get any non-zero value, so it falls down to zero. You see, this is the gap. I mean, this is the problem I'm facing to fix this particular issue. But yes, with this fix, what happens is, if it is at zero, it stays at zero. And for now, we do not have any provision to lock it up when the breath is held. So it suddenly drops down to zero and maintains the flat line at zero. Disconnected. Yeah. Again, if not this print option, the particular graphing utility that I'm using for the solution, it itself has this particular options. So from here also you can initiate a print if at all the graph is needed to be printed. So this print command will automatically invoke the system level printer utility, and you can select the appropriate printing properties and select it, print it. So if this is only for the graph because this is the built-in facility with this graph utility that I have used. Okay, that's pretty much on the current progress. I believe this is definitely a little more than what we were in the previous week or by the last weekend. So just let me know your feedback, and I guess we are at the point where we should meet and discuss the discrepancies in the provided requirements and whatever I have implemented. I have implemented it to the best of my knowledge and understanding of the given requirements. However, if you see any discrepancies, I would suggest we can meet sometime this week, preferably on my preference will be post Thursday afternoon sometime because this is a drop week in my college and I have to like roam around attending several lectures. Okay, thank you.